Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a speaker and author of several books on relationships. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. The dangers of dealing with multiple men. And before I go further, this episode of Hello Ladies is sponsored by Peekaboo Treasure Box. Peekaboo Treasure Box. And the link is in the description box and to their website and also to their Instagram. And Peekaboo Treasure Box features clothes for women that are both elegant and sexy. Very sensual, classy, but sensual. That nice look. So it's showing off all the curves and everything, but it ain't no thought gear. Oh man, but no, it's some beautiful stuff, and check it out. Show some love to the sisters who run the site. So anyway, the dangers of dealing with multiple men. You know what, ladies? I know some of y'all out here, y'all see guys racking up huge counts, body counts and everything, and you get some women who think they can do the same thing. Now, in theory, yeah, you can. You're free. You got free will to do whatever you want. But there's more of a consequence when women have a high body count than when a man has a high body count. And it's actually more of a consequence there's more of a consequence even if you have a low body count than if a man does. Yeah, shit, somebody sending me a candygram. Anyway, hold on for a second. Sorry about that, ladies. Yeah, I'm wrong. The brother's job is never done. Anyway, see, one of the things, women have to get, I know women want to feel like they can do what men do, but see, you can't. The nature of all women, psychologically, physically, and especially spiritually, is to take in a man's energy. That's your nature. You taking in that man. That man is physically going inside of you. That man is physically causing sensations more so in your body than you gonna cause in his. More so. And one of the things for people who follow me a long time know I talk about the womb imprint. And this isn't just some speculation. Actually, once I heard about it, I actually looked into it. And this is something many cultures realize. That's why they prize virginity. That's why they've managed a woman's first sexual encounters, particularly with the first men that she sleeps with. Because oftentimes, let me use this as a metaphor. Women are like a bowl. A man is like a pitcher of water. He's pouring stuff into the bowl. And so what's happening is many times that man is pouring who he is, the essence of who he is, into you. And this is irrelevant. It doesn't have anything whether or not you have a baby behind it, or even if the sexuality is even if it's unprotected sex, rather. He's pouring, you taking on, you representing what he is psychologically. For example, I can look at a woman and give you a general idea what type of men she's been with. Now, what's happening out here, it's not a good or evil thing. It can be. Let me explain how I mean that. Say a woman has sex with 10 men, but all of these men were outstanding men spiritually, like good intentions, good heart. They were physically healthy, and they always treated her with the best intentions. They took care of her. They ain't just pump and dump her. They cared about her well-being. They added to it. In fact, each single one upgraded her. They gave her something of themselves, and that upgraded the woman to be even a better woman. That's not a bad situation when she sleep with a man. And ideally, in a different type of world, in a very different culture, that's what would happen. Every time a woman would sleep with a man, she would upgrade. We know that's not the case. First of all, A great many women have negative womb imprints, which means the first 2 or 3 men that a woman slept with had they might not have been bad, but the sex wasn't good. They might have negative intentions. The sex might have been like one of those quickies or something that happens when the girl's parents are out. And on the extreme cases, it could have been, the imprint could be a result of rape or molestation. And those are definitely negative events. That's why many women will have an attraction to negative type of men. She needs to look at her womb imprint, and then it sets up something where she'll have a stronger attraction. Now, to explain the imprint, what happens is women will take the energy of those first 3 men that she sleep with and use that in her body. Her subconscious will kind of groom her to deal with those type of men. Because the subconscious will say, oh, this what you like? Oh, okay. And it doesn't matter. The circumstances, how it came about. The subconscious is just going to record it. Like I know one woman, her first experiences were extremely negative. It was a gang rape. And she's been paying for it probably the rest of her life. She probably need to be in therapy a long time and probably away from the general population for a while just to heal. It's that serious. Now, what's happening out here, most women aren't being gang raped or even raped. But what's happening is you have some women constantly going for men who don't have good intentions for them, or are negative, or not the highest type of man. And that's where the danger is. Now, even a woman who's not dealing with multiple men, even if she's want to deal with a few men over a certain period of time, that could still be a danger to her too, if she's dealing with if the men had negative intent. Like, you have some women who might have a low sex count, but the men that they dealt with were all abusive. That could be a real issue. They were all abusive. They mistreated her. They really did a number on her self-esteem. Because not only are you receiving the man's energy, like, through direct intercourse, but then you always dealing with it. He's projecting who he is onto you. And there's a lot of women going through that. And then women magnify it by dealing with multiple men. And because they probably have a negative womb imprint, it's the same type of guy. Like any women, anytime, and I've coached a lot of women, way longer than I've been on YouTube, going back to the 90s, and had conversations with women. One of the things I found is once a woman has a certain imprint, she always goes for that same type, even to a physical degree. And if a lot of women, because it's a negative thing, they not only sleeping with multiple men, but they sleeping with multiple bad guys. And just to be clear, because I know some fellas get on here and say, yeah, I know it's about Pookie. Nah, you got some evil guys who can be billionaires. Look at this billionaire who just got charged with sex trafficking. And you got a lot of people, so it goes across classes. It's not limited by class. So understand that you have to be careful. Like what women have to do, you have to ask yourself, what did you get from these guys? I've told men a woman needs to be an asset or a liability. A woman has to ask herself, has this man she dealt with actually elevated her? And is the men she's dealing with, if she's going to, like I said, it's not a good or evil thing. It just is. But the outcome could be negative for you or positive. So you got to ask yourself, okay, I'm dealing with all these men. Am I rising up? Am I becoming a better person? Are things happening good for me in life? Because I've seen a lot of women, like in those polyamory communities, you get a lot of women just jumping around and their lives are totally jacked up. I don't want to call any names, but I'm like, okay, you embraced all of that. You embrace all that bull, and then now you can't say life's going good for you because you're going for the same type of negative energy. So that's the thing. You taking in that energy. Remember, women, y'all receptive. Y'all receptive in ways it's even without the sex. Y'all can be receptive just to the negative energy in a particular area. So y'all need to take care. And it's like you can't do men. We're not built for receptivity. It's not the same with men. We're built for war, so we're stronger emotionally. We're stronger emotionally and just energetically. We don't take y'all inside of us. The only exception a man could have to that is if he's a homosexual, a bottom homosexual, because then he's taking somebody inside of him. But that's how deep it is. That's how deep it is for women. So those are the dangers. That's why that's why many cultures evolved the desire to like preserve a woman's virginity. What they weren't trying to. I mean, it evolved to the point because of corruption to a man just trying to control his sexuality, but it was really just for a spiritual reason, and because they understood what happens when you have a critical mass of women with negative energy inside of them. And that actually gets into some deeper metaphysics, and I'm not going to go into it here. And it is fantastic, but I'd have to break it down, because of course there'd be some skeptics on it, but I had to break it down piece by piece, like with charts and economic charts too. So anyway, it actually, I'll say one thing with it. It actually has an effect on. It actually has an effect on just the very civilization. So I'll leave it at that. And the economics, everything, how money is spent, stuff like that. The quality of civilization. So anyway, those are the dangers. And once again, check out the sponsor for this episode, Peekaboo Treasure Box. Check out their website and their IG. The links are in the description box. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and many blessings.